One of the biggest issues when it comes to eating healthy and staying on track is usually a social let. It's something that my clients always talk about as being the biggest barrier for them succeeding. So I'm actually having some friends over tomorrow night and I want to put something to the test, because I always tell my clients, like, hey, if you have something that's coming up, if you have friends over for dinner, or if you're going over to dinner and you're supposed to bring something, just bring something healthy. I promise they won't even notice, especially if it's one of the recipes that are in my cookbook. Check out the link below. But I'm going to put this to the test and see if I can trick my friends into coming over for a taco party, but having it all be healthy, and see if anybody notices anything. Oh, by the way, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition and human performance. So I meet with clients on how to help them achieve their wellness goals through food and lifestyle changes, and I'm really excited to put this to the test. I mean, I've made so many things and nobody's ever really noticed that it's healthy, but I want to record this and just put it to the test and see if anybody will notice that this is healthy. So what I'm going to be making for tomorrow, it's like a taco bar, and I'm actually going to be doing homemade black beans. This is just straight dry black beans, and making them from scratch is actually really important for reducing gut inflammation and also making sure that you don't get bloating. So I'm going to be starting that today. It's actually super simple, and I have a whole blog post on how you can make them down in the description below. But this is the way that you can have beans without having to experience bloat. What happens when you soak them and cook them properly, and you don't get this with canned beans, is that the outer oligosaccharide layer gets removed and the lectins get reduced, and that outer layer is what your gut bacteria will ferment, and that's what causes bloating. So by properly soaking and cooking them, it makes it so that you aren't going to experience bloating. So that's the first step, and I'm going to be doing this. I have some pickled red onions that I pickled myself. Super easy as well. All you do is just take some apple cider vinegar, some water, a little bit of honey, and a little bit of salt, and then you just slice up some onions and put it in there for literally like an hour, and they're pickled. It's amazing. They're so good. I put them on everything. I'm going to be making this. Let's see if my friends will notice. I'm going to bring you guys along so you can check it out, and let's see what happens. It's the day of the taco party. Our friends are still clueless on the fact that they are going to be eating healthy food. Right, Chef? Yes. We're making homemade corn tortillas. So like, oh, Sophie. Oh, so.
You excited for tacos?
Okay, so you're probably wondering how we're going to make tacos healthy. So first of all, we're making our own homemade corn tortillas, which I believe I actually even have a video on how to make them. And I have like a tortilla press. So see how it's called masa harina? This is like a way that the corn, it's called nixtamalization. Pronouncing that wrong, but something like that. I'll probably write it right here. The corn is soaked with lime so that the lime helps to release the niacin that's within there, and niacin is a type of B vitamin, and so it makes it like just a much higher quality, more nutrient dense type of corn, at least corn flour, masa harina. Anyway, and it's organic. So I talk a lot about how GMO foods, like, you just want to stay away from, causes inflammation in the body. My hair keeps getting in my mouth. It's organic, properly made, and it's not going to have any type of preservatives in it the way that a lot of tortillas do, because we're making it ourselves. Okay, so here's the other thing. You guys saw that I was making my own beans. So I soaked them overnight and I cooked them with a bunch of different spices. Kitchen's a mess. This is what happens when you have a small kitchen. You gotta make do. This is cooked black beans that I soaked overnight, and I talk a lot about how this is really helpful and beneficial. It's so much better than getting canned. Not only are you getting no BPA or the other chemical, I'm forgetting the name right now, but you also are actually able to absorb the nutrients better. You aren't going to get bloating because it doesn't have that outer oligosaccharide layer. And it's the way that we are supposed to be making beans anyway. That's what makes these beans actually healthy and good for you. Trevor got some organic grass-fed meat. He is going to be grilling that up. So we have that, which is high quality meat. And I'll have a bunch of other toppings as well. So toasted pitas, pumpkin seeds, homemade guacamole, Trevor's uncle's hot sauce. So homemade hot sauce as well. It's just all homemade, all high quality, and not just like junky fried types of tacos. And I guarantee you our friends won't even notice. And Sophie's super stoked. She's trying to find all the food. I know I'm gonna get a lot of people critiquing me on how I cut. They'll say that I need to cut like this, and I'm gonna chop my fingers off. And like, to be honest, there's been 2 separate times I've had to get stitches on this specific finger. But I feel like I would actually get more issues with my cutting if I cut like this, because I have no control doing it that way. Like, this just seems uncomfortable. It seems like I'm gonna cut my knuckles off. I don't like that. It's the next day after I had my taco party with my friends. The big question here is, did they realize that they're tricked into eating healthy food? To put it simply, no one said anything. They also ate all the food. There was literally nothing left. Plus, you know, as a nutritionist, usually when I have my friends over for dinner or if I'm out to dinner, they'll always make some joke about how I'm going to choose something healthy or how I'm making them something healthy, but they didn't mention anything. And I think it's because it was tacos, so it's a little sneaky because it didn't seem healthy because like tacos, you know? But as you guys saw, those were all great ingredients. They were all made in a way where everyone could absorb the nutrients and it was actually healthy. It's pretty similar what I made yesterday to what the people of Nicoya Peninsula who live to be over 100 make every day for their meals. So that was actually a fantastic meal. Nobody even noticed it was healthy. And that's kind of what I wanted to point out with this video, is that you don't have to make your meals be boring in order to be healthy. It's actually quite easy to trick people into eating healthy meals, including yourself, because we have this misconception that eating healthy has to be really boring or tasteless, and it's actually quite opposite, especially when you just do some simple things to make the food taste amazing. And that's what I do with all my recipes. I love to cook, but I'm also a lazy cook, so all my recipes are like the lazy version of things, but they all taste amazing, and that's the most important part. Being able to stick with your health and wellness routine is that you actually like your food, and a good test for that is if your friends like it too. If you want to be able to trick yourself into eating healthy food and not even realize it, make sure you try out this smoothie recipe. It's amazing. You won't even know that it's healthy, and it's so satiating. Also, if you love all the science-backed information on how to treat your body right and how to feel good, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Alright guys, I'm gonna snuggle with Sophie and we'll see you in the next video.